Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Sifu Messiah. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links can be found in the description for everything we discuss, so let's get on with it. This is the second part of the Star Citizen Sunday this week. Don't forget, part 1 is the previous video from yesterday on Sunday. In this part we get the status on Star Marine, what's new with 1.1.5, plus we hear about the new audio overhaul. So with 1.1.5 patch going live last week, there was a post to let us know what is included. First of all, the player count in Battle Royale and Squadron battle modes in Arena Commander have been upped to 16 players. They did say they will add 2 additional game modes later as well, so that's going to increase. Now the balance changes, it's quite a few, so I'll just read them out in a list. Ships are now tuned to retain momentum. Ships have limited supply of boost, so use it wisely. Shields and hull health has increased across the board, but shields take longer to regain recharge. Missiles are much more effective at bringing down shields, and also have increased tracking distance, but also increased locking times. They say it's better at softening up an opponent rather than blowing up, and I found that quite a bit actually in Arena Commander. They don't do half as much damage as they used to. The Mustang Delta can now swap out rocket pods for other size 2 weapons. The Avenger can now equip a size 2 on the wing. The Aurora's top speed is now at 175 meters a second. Yay! Shields reduce ballistic damage now by 30%. Armor has no significant effect on energy weapons, and it says it now takes much longer for ballistic weapons to take down shields. So another point is Gatling guns now fire while spooling up, which if you saw my Merlin review, you could see I was having a little bit of trouble trying to hit anything with a Gatling gun, but now they do fire instantly as soon as you hold the button down. The Joker Sucker Punch is increased in distribution power, and damage for all weapons has been rescaled according to their size, so the choice between gimbaled and fixed weapons are more meaningful. Now they say that all these changes were done to elevate the level of tactical play and decision making when choosing a loadout, and I must admit now playing Arena Commander with the rental equipment credits, it's got me all excited trying to figure out which weapons work well with which, and it does become much more of a decision maker. They did say there's still changes and things are still needed, so there will be more coming down the line, so it's not properly fixed or sorted yet. But in regards to shields, they say they should be more effective at blocking energy weapons, but ballistics can pass through, but they slow down the ballistic projectile and then damage the armor instead. So also, the Kruger P-52 Merlin was released with the patch, as we are all aware. This is, they call it a dedicated parasite fighter, which I quite like the name of that. Originally designed to only pair with the Constellation, but now it's available to all pilots. It's fast, maneuverable ship that packs a surprising punch, ideal for racing, local reconnaissance and fast combat. I've tried it in racing, and again, if you saw my review, you could see it was sort of drifting too much. But they fixed that, so it doesn't drift half as much as it did, but yet I am still a crappy racer. So Andromeda and Aquila owners can fly theirs today. They should be on their accounts now. And owners of the Phoenix, the 890 Jump, the Idris and the Karak will be awarded a Merlin loaner till their ships are complete. Again, a new ship for 1.1.5 was the Vandal Scythe, which has become quite a symbol of the Vandal race. It's got a heavy weapon payload, good maneuverability, as it has a twin main and 12 maneuvering thrusters. This is also flyable, but only to backers who picked one up early in the campaign. You can access them now. Also, Imperator subscribers will have access based on their subscription time. Unfortunately, I have not had the chance to fly one. Hopefully one day I may capture one or steal someone else's. Also, a new addition to 1.1.5 is the WWise sound conversion. Now this is an overhaul for the audio system. There is an article at the moment. I've picked up some notes on it, not everything because it is quite a technical thing, but if you are interested in the audio technicalities, please check out the post separately, but we'll get onto that in a second. Also, there's a clip here of Scythe racing, and I'll put it next to the Merlin racing as well. Both very cool ships to race, and I really look forward to seeing the Murray Cup with. You've got M50, the 350R, now you've got this Merlin. It would be so cool to have all different sponsors and racing liveries. Exciting stuff. Anyway, that was 1.1.5. Let's move on. So, Chris has kept his promise and he's keeping us up to date with the Star Marine module. This week, the focus has been on general gameplay and the animation system. They say the hardest aspect is getting the animation how they want, but it will all be worthwhile when the AI moves smoothly, you see your players and your friends moving smoothly. It'll all be worth it. So, in forms of gameplay progress, it's mainly been fixes and adjustments this week. The fixes, we have the cover look poses, which is when you go behind cover and you look out, trying to get the gameplay on that fixed. They fixed a bug which kept swapping to the default weapon on a client connect. The HUD would report a suicide upon connection, and they have finished work on the previous week's sniper rifle issue. Now, there were some more bugs as well, but nothing quite as cool as that. The adjustments, they have adjusted the spawn points for the free play practice mode. This greatly reduces spawn camping, so it sounds like when you're going to practice mode, you can still shoot each other, which kind of removes the whole practice mode. Hopefully you can go in on your own and just check out the map, check out the weapons. Also, work has been done on the recharge station, which is where you would recharge your energy weapons. Again, we see this in the video. I'll put it up again because it's kind of a new cool video of the FPS. So in terms of gameplay blockers, they're working on smoothing out the cover transitions and fixing aiming down sights which disconnects when leaning out of cover. There's an issue causing client aim to not synchronize, and they are adding objectives to Gold Horizon level for team elimination, which will hopefully slow down the gameplay and encourage sort of a capture and hold type gameplay. So onto animation. They've finished updating the Bayring P4AR firing animation, and they have now kicked off work on the Bayring ATT4 and prone firing for the Devastator shotgun. They've also tweaked the jump timing. They have fixed blending issues with the walk slow and assisted with cover fixes. So I think the walk slow is, when we hear about these jukes and stops and starts, I know they often say that they've completed them. I think this is just for the general running. They have to do it for walking, for sprinting, for crouched, for prone, all these sort of things. So it all has to be worked in like they did with the normal running movements. They say they've got great progress on the walk, stop, start jukes, and they say the video shows a little bit of this, which I'll show off again. They have locked down on the crouch, turns and starts, and continue to work on the crouch stops and prone mode. Also, in regards to the ragdoll video we saw recently, they said they had lots of comments on it. They say this video has highlighted some issues, which now they have created a new character rig with updated joint orientations. So it should look a lot better. It's not just, hopefully it's not just going to be unnatural arms flopping in all 360 directions. It'll be actual restrictions like the human body has, just in its bone structure. So, animation blockers, they say they need to pass a retarget animation with the new character rig. Start work on the crouched stops. The melee animations have not even been started yet. Also, injured locomotions are not finished. Multiple states, they say, will need clarification. EVA style animations for 0G not able to be cleaned up until they have this new character rig finished, which obviously EVA and 0G is needed for the Gold Horizon, not to mention Sata Ball itself is all EVA, so quite important. So onto the art side of things. They have conducted a lighting pass to improve client performance. The re-addition of breakable lights, and there's, again, you can see this in videos and screenshots when the lights are broken. Rework of the Gold Horizon assets, including stair heights and panel textures. Now, panel textures, they say they have a clean and a dirty panel texture, which helps create more interesting levels much quicker. They've also reduced the LODs to improve frame rate issues. This is ongoing, but they say they're getting great results with it. They've also added signage to the Gold Horizon to aid navigation, and also updated floor decals to the same end. And they have finished a revision of the P4AR Bayring rifle. So the art blockers, they're continuing work on Gold Horizon assets and building block sets for the future, and they're working on the first person hit reaction HUD mockups. So they're getting quite a lot of stuff done, but there does seem to be quite a lot of bits that are quite important for the FPS. Hopefully it shouldn't take them too long, and we will see it shortly. Anyway, tell me your thoughts. So we had a completely new post this week called Game Commander, which kind of gives us a day in the life of Chris Roberts. And he starts with him coding. As he said in 10 for the Chairman, he's got code in his computer, which he is trying to get done with the push to Gamescom. Now, he talks about the zone system. He's working on the Retaliator, and with changing to 64-bit, he says this will allow for millions or even billions of square kilometer play area, which is huge. But he says the physics grid need to be able to keep the interior of a ship separate from the outside of a ship. And he showed an example of walking into the cockpit of a Retaliator and clipping through the cockpit seat as he sort of approaches it, which it shouldn't happen. Obviously, the outside should be completely separate to the inside. And so things like seats need to know when it's on the inside of the physics grid so you don't pass through. Now, he showed sort of how to fix the collision fault by using the physics grid, and he showed us the physics grid in action. A lot of it was, again, far too technical for my feeble mind. So do check it out. It is worth watching, and it gives you a little insight as to how they get these grids to work, so you know not to pass through into space when you're in your ship. An interesting post, and it sounds like it may be a constant iteration of a new video now. Very interesting to watch, so do check out the full video. It's only about 12 minutes. So as mentioned before, we have transitioned from Fmod sound to WWise. Now, there was a post which brought us basically all the information they had on the WWise and how it's helping them out. And they say that moving to WWise really sets up support for the expansive scope and scale of Star Citizen. They have spent months migrating from the Fmod to WWise, but the benefits are things like author sound structures, resequence and relayer sounds to give infinite variability, integrate those sounds into to game-friendly bank structures which can stream from the disk or stay in the main RAM. Also, set up event hooks which has triggers and perimeters for certain environments, and they can monitor the game audio, check for bugs, and mix or change properties in real time. There are some more benefits, but a lot of them are quite technical, and in my own mind, I kind of get them, but I don't, so trying to explain them to people would just be a nightmare. They say they're already prepping hosts of new sounds for the FPS, the Persistent Universe, all within WWise, and many of these will feature in Squadron 42 as well. Now, there was some words from many of the audio tech guys who are working on it, explaining why they prefer WWise and how it helps them. I haven't included them because a lot of them are just sort of personal preferences. But we also have some audio samples, and I've picked out a few of them, not all of them because a lot of them are quite lengthy, and only sections of each. So like I said, there was much more said than just what I've quoted here. It was quite a large post. And as I say, although I understand the majority of it, I wouldn't know how to explain it. So if you are interested, then I highly suggest reading it, as there's a lot more that I have missed out. Do check out the post if you are interested in how the audio is put together and how it works. Definitely worth it. So, also this week, we had a letter from the chairman, which was pretty much covered within the 10 for the chairman episode, so I haven't bothered touching on it because literally everything he mentioned in the 10.4 was mentioned in the letter anyway, so I left that one out. There was a Meet the Devs with Chris Smith, which was very interesting. Chris Smith is the sort of lead vehicle artist, and he's the guy working on the Constellation now. There was a showdown post called The Hollow Debate, and with the elections looming just around the corner, they speak to a creator of some controversial holograms and try and figure out why he's doing it. Also, there's a work in progress post for the MISC Reliant. Gives you lots and lots of pictures of how they came up with the concept of the Reliant itself. And the final post this week was obviously the release of the P52 Merlin, which gives you all the stats, a place to buy it, $20, you cannot go wrong. If you're interested in what the Merlin has to hold, check out the post, it'll tell you all its stats there. Don't forget, this week we are giving away a P52 Merlin to one lucky subscriber. Check Star Citizen Sunday Part 1 for the details. Okay, so on a final note, we have affiliated with Razer, as we feel they make excellent gaming products, and if you want to help our channel out, plus buy amazing hardware, use the link in our description, and we'll get a little kickback every time a product is bought. So yet again, we have come to the end of the show. I just want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers and a massive thank you to all our patrons. You are truly helping our channel grow. If you are interested or able to help us out in way of a monthly donation from as little as $1 to any amount you deem fit, check out our Patreon page in the description. This really helps our channel to create more videos, better quality videos, and it allows us to get better hardware, better software, plus it allows us to spend more time on creating the videos. Don't forget to subscribe, comment if you have anything to say, show me the love by hitting the like button, and share it with all your friends and enemies. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in next week's show.
By entering Area 18, you agree to abide by all laws and regulations set by ARC Corp and the UEB. Any violation will result in immediate prosecution. You're clear to go. Please exit the checkpoint.